anytime I open my phone, I'm gonna get distracted. So hopefully I can distract you from that for just a little bit. It's the little microphone that I was telling you about the other day. I have been so eager to use them on you, and I've been so glad we finally got a moment, actually, just about today. Do you have time for it? If you have to, let me get the other one. The other one, so I'm really working with two. I really got it so that whenever we had a spa session, we could each wear one and we'd have that realistic experience. So we could kind of hear it as a surround sound. They're still so new. I left them all wrapped up the thinking. It took me a little while to figure out how to use them, and like I saw these, wearing them with the headphones is amazing. I can't even believe that. I never even bothered testing microphones with headphones in the past. I'm gonna say that too. It's quietly focus a little bit more because I see you losing attention just a little bit. Can you focus right here? A smaller detail. Okay. Go. Right side. Oh. Alright. That seems great. Okay. That's enough of that. Unless you like it. Okay, that's enough of that for now. Okay. So I just kind of want to run by you these 5 little things that I really do in my everyday life to just kind of all the way kind of keep me in check, keep my ADD in check. So I guess for starters, number 1 would be routine. This is my least favorite. I absolutely detest routine, but I know that I absolutely need it. So, when you have a regular routine, such as a 9 to 5, or, classes that you take that are mandatory and you must show up, and you are given deadlines by somebody else, then absolutely does simplify your life significantly because you are forced, a routine is forced upon your life. However, if you work from home, such as is the case with you right now, or how you've expressed sometimes, then you do absolutely need to establish a routine. So in my particular case, it is crucial that I wake up at the same time every day, go to bed at the same time every day. Now, of course, I don't exactly get this done. It is absolutely a challenge for me to live this way, but I do find that life goes a lot easier when I'm able to just step by routine. I absolutely need deadlines, and tricking myself into a fake deadline doesn't necessarily work out so well because I know it's a fake deadline. So if you have a routine, absolutely stick to it. It's just kind of forcing upon you deadlines from which to do it. You're doing is actually something that's very beneficial to your ADHD, at least in my experience. If not, have you ever heard of the quarter system for setting goals? No? Okay. So the idea behind that is that there are not 365 days in a year. Rather, there are 90 days in a year. So, you set goals based on quarters. So there are 4 quarters in the year. And each quarter Does that make sense? Cool. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely know that nothing in life ever goes according to plan, and the absolute most amazing moments of my life were not planned events. I'm sure that must be the case for you as well. However, setting these little goalposts for ourselves are still kind of necessary to help us more or less get a little closer to what it was that we were trying to manifest. Now, I say this just so you understand that we might not meet those goals. We might come across something far more beautiful during that first quarter. But it still kind of created these little goalposts along the way for us to attempt to meet. Makes sense? Okay. So I guess the first one was just probably the most boring one, and probably most challenging one to kind of attain. There's definitely things that help me kind of stay on track with that, such as just keeping a little notebook for these daily to-do tasks. And I rather refer to my goals as tasks that I need to do. And I just kind of narrow it down to just a few of them, so that way I don't see an overwhelming list of things that need to get done. But just a few key things that will bring me closer to my main goal day by day. So I'll just keep a little notebook, and the reason for the notebook is because anytime I open my phone, I'm gonna get distracted. So if I open up my phone to keep like to put something in my keep notes or my iPhone reminder, there's a very good chance that I'm gonna get distracted and I am going to forget what I opened my phone up for initially. So keeping a notebook is really nice for those moments when I just don't want to get distracted. And don't get me wrong, I still keep notes on my phone in addition to a Google Calendar to give me alerts for when a deadline is approaching or it's due. So those are a few little tricks there. I guess another second legs. Don't do it for your legs. Do it for your mental health. So that would, I think, your end goal should be much bigger than just looking good, just because you feel good. Yeah, so, okay, so we've got one routine, and with routine we have the Pomodoro Technique, and keeping a notebook for staying on track, in addition to Google calendars and such. And number 2 was gosh, this is why I need to go to the gym. My memory, I totally forgot. I guess number 2 is exercise. Let me see, I think I have just 2 more that I do that are just tricks that I actually came across on TikTok, and they've actually done wonders for me. Actually, there's going to be a third one. So the third one, I think, versus routine 2 is exercise. The third one is going to be shoes. Shoes in the home. Now, I'm somebody that does not use shoes in the home. I take them off. I don't forget. Like right outdoors and indoors. I take them off, walk around barefoot, walk around my socks, walk around with slippers. However, I very much Mr. Rogers said, and I wear shoes inside my home. I would love to get into the routine just like Mr. Rogers, who swaps into his little cardigan and indoor shoes. I'm not quite there yet, but there is something extremely beneficial about putting shoes on when you're indoors. So I do have an old pair of Keds that well, for one, I don't like getting rid of shoes, and they were still perfectly fine. They just had a little hole off to the side that unfortunately I just wasn't gonna wear anymore. And so I figured I would wash them up, and those are my indoor shoes now. So when I wake up in the morning, I put on some socks, toss on those shoes, and I feel like I'm ready to go. It really worked for me. I do have, I gave in and got them little TikTok exercise steppers that that came across my For You page, and so when I have my shoes on, it makes it so much easier. It takes off the steps of thinking of put on shoes and exercise and all that. Eliminates all of those extra steps. I'm pretty much 100% ready to go to just hop on the stepper and get some steps in. I know that I am not a fan of cold weather, and when it's cold out, unfortunately, I'm probably going to skip the gym just because I don't want to deal with the cold weather or the rain, and so I actually got the steppers knowing that this would keep me fairly active and get my steps in on those days that I knew I wasn't going to try to go outside the house and just for exercise. Another TikTok hack that I came across was keeping condiments in the fridge. In the vegetable containers. So this was a godsend. It absolutely helped me. I felt amazing. I felt motivated. I'm barely on day 2 now, so I think at that time it said it was going to take for sure a week or more to start noticing any reaction to it. So I'm not quite there yet. I can keep you posted. And another one that I came across on TikTok, and this is absolutely brand new to me, was outside rosing. Again, on day 2, this one I take in the morning, like 5-HTP at night. This is supposed to help your body. I don't know if it's to produce dopamine, but that's kind of the way this is supposed to help. Where the 5-HTP is supposed to be taken at nighttime to kind of help you go to bed. And I do struggle going to bed, which is absolutely why I came across ASMR to begin with. In addition to, having feeling lonely and experiencing depression. So those are my tips. I apologize that I was kind of all over the place. It is for ADHD, so I think it's only natural that I got a little distracted. So let's, I guess let's review what I said. Number 1 was routine. Just going to bed, is about getting you in the moment. Like that's it. Those constant thoughts in your head have to stop when you're breathing. And I think that's why it's so annoying for people who have ADD. You know, we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a little bit of breathing. Yeah. Yes. Yes, we are. Okay. Yes, we are. Okay. So we're gonna do 3. Okay. Now clear everything that's on your mind. And I want you to breathe for a count of 3. Hold for a count of 3 and breathe out for a count of 3. Okay. Here we go. Again, nice. Very nice. I felt so good doing that. Last time. Breathe in. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, friends, I hope this really helped you. I'm so glad you took some time to hang out with me. You really helped me out because not spending time with you was eating away at me, and work and no play makes me a dull girl. So I am glad I took a little bit of time to actually spend time with you. When sometimes I feel that there's so many other things that are more important that I should do. So thank you for always being there for me. You help me